Good afternoon and welcome to Funny Like a Clown podcast. I am your host, Dennis Wirth, out of Baintown, that's Boston, baby. This is episode 8 on January 6, 2019. And on the phone I have, from the voices of Donald Duck, Little Quacker from Tom and Jerry, Robot Chicken, Family Ties, The Bob Newhart Show, Mad TV, Grant Airwolfe Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon, the list goes on and on. Welcome, Sam Kwasman. And we lead off with Donald Duck.
Yeah, well, little Quacker's pretty close. He's,
Oh boy.
same voice.
Those are all the ones we remember, but gosh, saying all those names, that must bring back a lot of memories for you. All those years and years of being on those great shows.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I also did Luke Grant with Ed Asner, and we've been friends for years. And he's 89 now, 7 Emmys, and not bad. You know,
Yeah.
I used to write him every year and go, what? There are no more actors? What?
Well,
The only one can get an Emmy? What's the matter with you?
Little resume, just like you, but take us back to the beginning. How did it all start for you? I know you were in Mammy with Lucille Ball, which, I mean, she was one of the icons of television. Was that the start, or?
Yeah, believe it or not, I started as a dancer for a show called Disney on Parade. Anna White was the choreographer. I was a really true song and dance man, and musical comedy was going to be my thing. And I wound up in this show, Disney on Parade. Anna White had just won the Academy Award 2 years earlier for Oliver. She did Music Man and Bye Bye Birdie. So I studied acting, singing, dancing, all that stuff forever. And I was 19, and I got the job, and I was a lead dancer in the show with another guy named Patrick Swayze, who was Prince.
Really? So was it as easy as you just went in, tried out, and you got the role, or did you know anybody, or are you still there?
Okay. Yeah, can you hear me?
Whoa, we just got you back there. We lost you for a second, so.
Oh,
Well,
auditioned me, and then she said, okay, you got the job. And I got into this show, and while we were in rehearsal, a friend of mine, Chick Vanera, who became a very big actor, sat down at a piano and did a bunch of singing voices, and then I sat down at the piano and did a bunch of cartoon voices. One was Donald Duck, and Anna goes, "You're the next Donald Duck here at Disney on Parade. You do it live, 10 to 14 shows a week." So
you just knocked them dead right off the bat, right?
right off the bat, at 19, I did What's My Line and promoted the show around the country. You see it today as Disney on Ice. So what they skated, we ran.
Really?
So we called ourselves Holiday on Wood, and it was quite a show. It was a 2.5-hour dance show, and it featured Snow White and Fantasia, and I was the lead alligator in Fantasia. So,
Listen, just a touch Disney like that, because we all grew up on Disney, and that's like the icon of, you can't even buy Disney stock. It's just to be connected with that must be quite the dream come true for you.
well, all these people were just big people in the industry. Ward Kimball was the overseer of the show, and he was this genius animator who did Snow White and Pinocchio and created Jiminy Cricket. An unbelievable guy. And
So-
they're just geniuses.
How many years did you study dancing for? Because you must have been quite the dancer to be with the likes of Patrick Swayze, who's known for his dancing, and I mean.
Yeah, I did the movie Mame with Lucille Ball for Anna White. And,
But I mean, how many years did you study dancing before you tried out for stuff like that?
It was at least 10, 15 years, 20 years, if you count now, it's 40 years or more,
Right.
more than that. But I studied for a good 20 years, 10 years before I got 9 years before I got the Disney show, and then another 10 years of dancing professionally. And actually I did Mad TV as we did Brockovich the musical. And I played the drunken dancing Albert Finney.
So dancing just is in your blood, I guess. But I mean, if you trained for that many years, you were ready for whatever they threw at you at that point, I would imagine.
Yeah. It was ballet, tap, and jazz, and they eliminated you if you couldn't do any ballet. And of course, I could do everything except make a living.
Right.
So,
So what was it like working with Lucille Ball? Because everybody thought back then only the males could do the lead thing, and she showed, hey, a female can be a lead just as good, and she showed, you know, she could lead the way as good as any male. What was it like working with her?
oh, she was wonderful. She's a very serious woman. You know, but I was 23 at the time I did name with her, and she was just wonderful. You could talk to her, and she would answer questions. You know, I told her, you know, I really like the Three Stooges, and she would say, bad props, they almost killed me. And apparently she did an episode of the Three Stooges.
Really?
And she was, yeah, and so she was standing in front of a fan and powdering herself with this fine powder, and Larry Fine comes over and flips the switch, and the powder goes up into her face, and she does one of those things like that, and it goes right into her mouth, her nose, her eyes. She was in the hospital for 3 days, she told me.
Oh,
And
geez.
for weeks, you know, when she blinked, you know, it was like sandpaper. I mean, she told me a lot. She just was great.
So she was easy to talk to. She didn't turn into like one of these snobs off screen and just faked it on screen. She was just genuinely a nice person.
She was genuinely a good person, and I have to say, I really loved her. She was wonderful to work with, and you know, she just would tell me stories. You know, I mean, I would ask her about anything, and she would tell me.
That's great, and you want to listen too, because those are the legends right there.
Yeah. So, you know, she told me the story about how she had a filling put in her tooth, and it was World War II, so they didn't use the regular filling stuff; they used something else. And as she drove to MGM, she picked up radio signals.
Right in her tooth?
She told me this in her tooth. In her tooth.
Wow.
And if she hadn't told me to my face, would you have believed this?
Yeah, that's one of you had to be there to believe it, sure. But I guess it could. It's reasonable back then. Could happen.
Well, she was driving to MGM and she picked up German and in her tooth, and it got louder and louder, and so she calls the FBI because she's. And they're driving around until it gets louder and louder and louder, and they find this nasty nest of Nazis, a nest of Nazis.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, spying on MGM Studios.
She was like a walking antenna then. Well, yeah, back then if you put tinfoil on your antennas, it's not like nowadays where everything's digital. Back then you had to work for it, so.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I said, wow, what are you going to say? But, you know, I took a picture with her and on set, you know, on location.
Oh, sure,
And,
yeah. Just to touch the life of a legend like that is something, but,
well, but she was just, you know, she was real, you know?
a real person, yeah. I don't like those people who change. Those ones who stay the same are the ones you want to talk to.
I think the ones who really are successful, like Ed Asner and Lucille Ball and Anna White, people are regular, you know, they're real regular people. You know, they're just, you know, they don't have that kind. They know it's a business, and they know that, you know, they don't have that ego thing going in that respect. You know, they want to, you know,
be who you are, sure.
No airs about them.
So I know in doing the voiceover thing, you also done some theater along with the acting. Letters from a Nut, Music Man Dancer, Hello Dolly. What was it like in the theater? Would you say that's harder than the acting, or is it easier, or are they both difficult, or?
Well, the theater, you know, you've got to show up, and I mean, everything you have to show up, but theater is, you never know what's going to happen with the audience. You just never know.
Right.
And I just did Letters from a Nut at the Geffen Theater, produced by Jerry Seinfeld, and the movie will be out in March or April this year on Prime. It's called Letters from a Nut, produced by Jerry, written by Barry Martyr, who is Ted Almancy, and it's a very funny play, very funny. It was shot as a play, and I'm hoping to do another one called More Letters from a Nut, produced by Jerry Seinfeld. And theater is a little harder. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to judge because it depends on what you do in theater versus television and movies.
Well, I know in theater there's no retakes. I mean, you practice, but once you're live, there's no cut and let's do it over. I mean, once you're live, that's it, right?
Yeah, you can't do it over. Correct. That is absolutely correct. You're right. And there's no question about that. But I love the theater. The theater is where that's your craft. You know, that's where you hone your craft.
I mean, I've done nothing compared to you, but I've done some acting. It's a lot of time on your feet, too, I noticed. I do stand-up comedy regular, and then I dabble into the acting, but not too much. It's just all day on your feet. It's a lot of work that people don't realize when they see on TV how much work goes into it.
Oh, absolutely. These people really make it look easy on television. They're really good ones. And there's no question that it's a lot of work. You have to get off book, which means you have to memorize, and then, you have to give it a life. You have to create it. Even in cartoons, little ducks, the little Quacker, he's an innocent duck. I have to keep the innocence.
Right.
I have to keep him surprised, to keep him happy, sad, laughing, crying, singing. It's a life.
And that's a whole nother world.
With Donald Duck.
As far as cartoon, that's a whole nother world. As far as, do you become a specialist or something like that? Because you've done Donald Duck, you've done Little Quacker, Robot Chicken. I mean, are you the bird guy? If they need, are you the guy they go to because you're a specialist, or?
Well, I should be, but I know other voices. But that's the most famous.
Or did it just happen you did all the ducks? I mean, are you the duck guy, or was that by coincidence or design?
I'm the expert duck. However, I'm not the official voice of Donald Duck. I did it for 17 years, then Eisner came in and took out Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and brought in 3 new guys.
Well, you're one of many, right? But I mean, just to be a part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice at the time. And 25 years later, I get a call from Daryl Van Sitters, the executive producer and director of Tom and Jerry cartoons, and he says, "You still do a good duck?" I go,
"Yeah, if you remember me from it, I can still do it, right?"
Yeah. Well, he remembered me from 25 years earlier. I walked into the animation department at Disney Studios and did Donald Duck for everybody.
And he remembered you 25 years later. Wow.
Yeah, he never forgot it. So I guess I do a good duck.
I guess you made a good impression, sure. So in addition to that, you stepped into my world. I know for a short time you tried stand-up comedy. What was that like for you? Did you do a lot of your voices on stage?
I still do stand-up. I'll be at the Laugh Factory in March.
Really?
In Vegas. Yeah.
Because I know you done Caesar's Palace and the Comedy Store and all the big places people dream of getting into. I mean...
Yeah, I did all. When the Comedy Store was just starting out in the 70s. And I was a regular there with Letterman and Leno and all those guys. So I was one of these guys who just, it's funny. Like, Letterman did one thing, Leno did one thing. He did stand up. And they really, it's about writing. You're writing. Like voice acting, it's really about the acting. You can't, it's okay to do a voice. You better know how to act.
Right.
You have to, the same thing with stand up. Stand-up is like with Gary Shandling and I, we hung out, we toured together, and it's about writing jokes. It's about writing. These guys become great writers. They wind up with sitcoms like Seinfeld and Shandling and these guys, and Letterman and Leno. You know what happened with them.
Yeah.
And it's a writer's medium, so you learn to write jokes. So that's what I did, and of course I'm so successful now. I'm now the male stripper at the Jewish Home for the Aged.
All right.
So that's about it.
It'll get better, but I mean, I know you're a working guy, whether it's comedy or whether it's acting or whether it's voiceover. That's how you make your living. You have to take the job. But what would be your first love? Would it be acting, theater, voiceover, stand-up? What's your first love?
Oh, my first love was musical comedy. Theater, like Singing in the Rain on Broadway. My friend Don Correa was the star of that show when it first opened. Those kind of things. I was geared towards that, but I love theater. Love the theater, and I love stand-up. And it's hard to choose because you get a lot of satisfaction out of all of them, areas. But I'm just more versatile than most people.
There's nothing like a live audience, though. That's when you're at, when it's live.
That's it. The live audience just really keeps you going.
I say, you got a few hundred people hanging on the edge of your seat to hear the next words that come out of your mouth. There's no feeling like it in the world.
Yeah, you never know what they're going to react to.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the old shows like Happy Days, they started to bring in live studio audiences because they wanted that live feeling while they were acting.
Well, I got to tell you, this is to edit. A friend, I choreographed when I was dancing in a musical that I choreographed. Became good friends, and his career was taken off with Mary Tyler Moore. And he was doing Lou Grant. I'd just done Bob Newhart, and he loved it. He thought Bob Newhart was a great episode. It really was. It was Emmy
nominated, correct?
Yeah, for an
Right.
So I go to Ed and I go, I never get to do serious drama. I always, I'm always doing comedy. And he says, what, you want to do drama? You want to play a jerk? Sure. Comedy's hard, drama's easy. I'll put you in Lou Grant. So I wound up on Lou Grant because of his recommendation.
Yeah, okay, now Lou Grant, he was known for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, but I mean, what was it like working with Lou, who was a veteran of the veteran actors?
Yes, and he always gave me great advice and stuff, and we go out every so often for lunch with him. He's 89 now,
So you make a lot of friends in this business too. That's one of the cool parts of it. I've met a lot of people, made a lot of great friends. But all right, so we mentioned Newheart, we mentioned Lou Grant. What about Family Ties? I know you were on that with Michael J. Fox, and I met him briefly, and it was like I was like in a convenience store buying chips from him. He talked to me just like a regular guy. I couldn't believe it. It was just he was so down to earth. But what was it like working with him?
Oh, it was wonderful. Family Ties. He had no ego. He was just really about the work, and you can't find a better actor than someone who's really concerned about the work of the show. And it's not about his ego, it's not about his thing. And I don't really run into that very often. Very rare now. I mean, back in my day, Bob Newhart was about Bob Newhart, but he was about the quality of the show. So was Michael Fox, and I got to work with Baxter Burney there, Meredith.
Right, yeah.
Most of my scenes were with her. She's gorgeous woman.
Right.
And Lloyd Garver had written my episode, and I ran into him at Paramount Studios, for an audition for something, and he goes, "Hey, I was thinking about you. I'd like to put you in Family Ties. I think So sure enough, he calls me in. And I wound up doing Family Ties, all because of my previous work.
Right. These are the most professional actors at the time. You're talking, Meredith Baxter, Michael J. Fox, Bob Newhart. These are the veterans. You're in the mix.
As a matter of fact, Bob. I'm a working actor. I'm just not famous like that. They are, but. It's really about the work.
But you do have an impressive resume once you look at it, everything you've been able to be a part of and touch,
Yeah, and I'm really grateful for everything I've done. I really am. It's just a passion, and you want to work more. It's like Asner told me, I got to work. He could have retired,
right.
But at 89, he still wants to.
Because he loves to do it. If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, they say, right?
You really think he has to work?
Well, it was another one. You were in an episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld. What was that like for you?
Well, that was wonderful. I had worked with Jerry doing stand-up. And years later, Barry Martyr, who I did Letters from a Nut with, Jerry had called him up and said, I need a comedian, a comedic actor to be the product placement guy for Comedians in Cars. And I'm just having trouble because I'm busy, I don't have the time to audition a lot of people. So Barry goes, well, what about Sam? And he says, Sam, get him. That guy can do everything. Just get him.
There you go.
So I wound up doing it,
Oh, that's a hit show. That's a popular one right at the moment. I'll tell you, Jerry's getting the people.
But Jerry's and he's a generous man.
Yeah, cool story. I met Jerry briefly at the Gotham in New York City. I was doing a comedy show, and he was doing the early show and I was doing the late show, and I met him. We were passing in the green room, and this young kid, he started down the stairs. This young kid went up to shake his hand, and he must have caught him out of the corner of the eye. Most stars would have kept walking. Jerry hit the bottom of those stairs, turned around, walked right back up those stairs to shake that young kid's hand. I said, top 3 coolest things. I said, that's how you do it right there, Don't forget where you come from.
And Jerry's just got a heart of gold. He's a sweet guy, good guy.
Genuine good guy.
New Yorker, And Barry, his head writer, who's my good friend, Barry, same thing. They're generous people, very open, very kind. If you have the talent, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Have to deliver.
And also, I know a lot of the kids remember this for you were on an episode of Airwolfe also, right? That was kind of the Knight Rider of the time, but it was a helicopter instead of a car. But what was that like for you?
Well, it was really fun. I didn't I was Corporal Munga, and they stuck me in this on the bottom of this plane, and I'm wearing a mask, an air oxygen mask. You can't even see my face. But the director wanted to put me in the show. He decided, it'd be good to put me in as a joke. So,
it's a good joke. You're on national television. Why not, right?
yeah. So he puts me in this thing, and the funny part about it is it's a mock-up of the bottom of a plane in a studio. And I'm laying in the bottom of the plane and looking out a window. And I'm supposed to say something like, you won't believe what I'm seeing here. We're refueling a helicopter, that goes at super speed or something.
Right.
And at 5 o'clock, I was the last shot of the day. And I do my thing, and while we're filming, the director comes running up next to me, running in place, going, okay, here's the next shot, here's what we're going to do, like as if the plane's moving.
Like he's catching up with the helicopter.
Yeah, he catches up while he runs. Great director.
Those are the things you remember, though, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. I do have a sponsor on the show. I got to mention him real quick. We have G Vegas barbecue buffalo wing sauce for the sweet, spicy, savory taste of game time. There is only one G Vegas, and they got some good buffalo sauce G Vegas there. But Sam, I want to give you a personal thank you for this next thing I want to ask you about, because my sister had muscular dystrophy, and I saw firsthand. My mother had to stay home full time to take care of her. She couldn't work, so we only had one income coming in from my dad's, and from electric wheelchairs to electric beds to whatever she needed, it was all paid for by the MDA Jerry Lewis Telethon. And I know you were a guest on there. What was it like being on the telethon and working with Jerry Lewis?
Well, Jerry Lewis was a wonderful guy in the sense that what he was doing was terrific. I didn't really get to work as much with him as I did with the nighttime host. Bob Zaney was hosting it, and he took over for Johnny Carson's right-hand man, Ed McMahon.
Right, Ed McMahon, yeah.
So I met Ed, and I wasn't able to really meet Jerry.
Okay, but Ed, he was a regular. He was right by Jerry's side most of the time, if not all the time. He did it, right?
Yeah, Jerry Lewis was, but he came off the stage when I was there, and he was pretty exhausted at that point because he was much older, doing this telethon.
Right.
But talk about, every major star was sitting in the green room with me, and I did a bit with Bob Zaney, who took over from midnight to 8 in the morning for the telethon. And while I was there, I'm sitting next to Jack Jones and these big singers and major stars, that were doing the show.
Right.
And I just remember sitting next to Jack Jones and going, God, I really love your work. And he goes, gee, thank you so much. He was like so grateful.
Appreciative, right. And you feel like you're one of the gang when you're sitting there with him. You're like, wow, I'm here. I can't believe this. Wow.
Yeah, you feel like and they all accept you.
Right.
You're there. Obviously, you're there. You must be somebody.
Right. Yeah, you're still a fan at the same time, right.
Right, and they kept asking me to do Donald Duck.
Well, that's what you're best known for. Everybody wants you to do it. I want you to do it. Can you say for me, you're listening to Funny Like a Clown podcast with Dennis Wirth?
Yeah, okay, say that again.
You're listening to Funny Like a Clown podcast with Dennis Wirth. Can you do that in Donald Duck?
You're listening to
Funny Like a Clown.
Funny
Like a Clown podcast.
Like a Clown.
Funny Like a Clown.
Funny Like a Clown.
Podcast.
Podcast.
With Dennis Wirth.
Dennis Wirth.
You got it.
Okay, make sure I got this right. You're listening to
Funny Like a Clown podcast with Dennis Wirth.
Funny Like a Clown
podcast.
Funny Like a Clown podcast.
Yeah, with Dennis Wirth.
Okay.
Well, thank you for that one. All right. We'll have to use that one as a plug. That's too perfect. But who didn't grow up on Donald Duck, right? I mean, the kids of today, they want to tell you about Harry Potter, and you're like, yeah, why don't you go back and watch Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, watch Bugs Bunny. Those were the Harry Potters of our time right there.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, well, they're such great
icons.
cartoons. I mean, yeah. I go to the Annie Awards every year, the Animation Awards, and you see all the big animators, voiceover actors, and all that. So, like Warburton, who does Family Guy, and he's Lemony Snicket's. So we're going to do more letters from that with Patrick.
Right.
This year we're developing the play. So.
Okay, so what's in your future? I know you got something coming up on Amazon Prime, Too Hip for the Room. Well, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Too Hip for the Room. I have a small part in that, but that was done by an old friend of mine, a stand-up comic. And he wrote it, produced it, and directed it. And then it's a comedy tragedy, tragic comedy.
Right, yeah.
It's a guy torn between his family and his comedy career, his stand-up.
Oh.
And Kelly Monteith was a fantastic stand-up comic, did The Tonight Show like 50 times, and asked me to be in this play, in this movie. And I played a naive, narrow-minded, self-centered president of an insurance company, and he's going to do his corporate gig. And before he comes out, I introduce everybody but him, and then I say, before the comedian comes out, let's all bow our heads for the death of somebody.
Oh,
so we pray for the dead, and now here's the comedian.
So kind of like real life, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these comedy shows are benefits, and they come out, my wife's dying of cancer, and my heart broken, and here's Dennis to make you laugh. Thanks, man, thanks.
That was exactly what it was.
Right, but
and, you get to work with your old friends and
sure,
that kind of thing. So,
but I mean, what's your dream gig? What are you waiting for the phone to ring? What would you want to do in the future? What's the dream for you? What?
Oh, well, I would love to do either I don't know if sitcoms are still in, but some kind of a original comedic show. I was thinking of doing a show based on the crazy guy who's trying to sell real estate here in LA and has the crazy characters.
Okay, so like a sitcom on television would be a dream move for you?
Pardon me?
That'd be a dream move for you, like a sitcom on television?
Yeah, or a movie, where I can be a, comedic actor,
Just be you, right?
Whatever it takes.
Right.
It'd be nice to get a real good piece of meat acting role.
Right.
That's what I'd love. I take improv classes, and I still keep up my tap class.
All right.
So, always keep learning, never stop.
Well, it's been a great interview. I want to thank you, and I'm going to leave off with this question, and it's a standard question I leave off with all the veterans, because there's a lot of young actors out there, and they want to follow the road you've already driven down. If you had a young actor come up to you and say, Sam, I dream of being an actor. It's my goal in life. I have to go. You're a veteran of the veterans. Can you give me some advice? What advice would you have for this young actor?
Well, follow your dreams, You do what you love in this world. I mean, you do what you can to survive, but follow your passion. Whether you're good at it or not, it's what you love. Yourself that.
So just don't ever give up, right?
Don't give up.
There you go.
Just keep working. I have friends who've been around for 40, 50 years and never got a break, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, it takes longer for some than others, for sure, yeah. But if you're doing what you love, then you don't mind waiting, right?
Right. It's just, you just don't know. There's no formula to it. It's just, right time, right place,
be ready.
Just a little luck. Yeah, and just be ready. Yeah.
Luck's a good part. That's a good one. A little bit of luck goes a long way, for sure, yeah.
I'm sorry?
A little bit of luck goes a long way. That was a good point. Right, you're right.
That's absolutely correct, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and that's what I would say to the future, just keep working. You never know.
All right. Well, we keep working here at Funny Like a Clown Podcast, having guys like you on. Sam, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the great interview. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and good luck to you this year. Happy New Year to you and your fans and everybody, and hopefully we'll do it again.
Sounds good to me. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you again. Bye-bye. All right. Veteran Donald Duck, man, right there. Sam Kwasman among Tom and Jerry. What else can you say, man? I mean, just the legends, man, okay? You know, we had Star Wars, we had Harry Potter. Well, we were kids. It was Saturday morning cartoons. We couldn't wait to get up, man. Watch, you know, Bugs Bunny. We can watch Mickey Mouse and the one and only Donald Duck by Sam Kwasman. But the legends, that's what they're made of. And hey, we keep going at it here on Funny Like Clown Podcast. Someday people are going to talk about this podcast being a legend because I ain't giving up, baby. Never have, never will. Been at it 10 years and I'm going to keep going. So for you guys, thanks for tuning in and we'll see you next time. I'm Dennis Wirth and good night.